Well, welcome back to the Kilted Texan, and today we're going to be doing a drive to Nashville starting about, let's see, 8:45 at night. We're going to be heading in there, try to be there by about 1, maybe 2 tomorrow. Going to drive straight through the night. Got our charge and stops all planned out. We're going to be doing more of a splash and dash type of strategy on this one. I am charged to 100%. I went ahead and I cranked up my battery to go ahead and charge to 100%. So I'm leaving the house at 100%. And when I leave the house at 100%, I'm going to make Waco probably at about 30%. So we shouldn't have very much charge time there. And then from Waco to Royce City, and then basically making charger hopping. So according to the estimates, we should be rolling along pretty smartly, and that seems to be the fastest way to do it. So we're going to do a little experiment today and charger hop and see how much faster we can make this happen. Right now it's showing, should be about, I think it said 17 hours, or maybe it was 16 hours. Anyways, we'll figure it out when we get there. So we'll see you in Waco, and we're going to go ahead and take off. We arrived here at 23:09, which right on what the time said it was supposed to be. Rolled in 152 miles at 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. We rolled in with an 84 mile left in the battery, and rolled in at 32%. So we're going to go ahead and plug in and see what kind of speeds we get, and take a look. I think we're only supposed to be here for just a few minutes, and we'll figure out what percentage we're going to. In fact, let's see, we are going to be going to 75%. We'll be here 31 minutes. We'll see if that actually holds true. Okay, so we are cranking up 31 kilowatts. Seriously? Well, that ain't gonna do it all. Kiss my grits on that one. We're gonna try this again. Oh, we stopped and started again, and it came right back at 31 kilowatts. So I'm gonna change chargers now because this is BS. Okay, on this one, sounds like we're getting some movement. Sounds like the coolant's starting to roll through the lines. Maybe this one's gonna come in a little bit better. I guess we'll find out. That's great. Thank you. Now, well, it's better than 31. Maybe it'll heat the battery a little bit and we'll climb a little. So there's 70. It is a little chilly. I mean, I think it's 38 or 37. So maybe the battery's cold, but we did roll pretty hard here, so I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. Well, it had us departing at 23:41 with 75%. Now, I don't think I'm going to need that much battery, so I'm still going to go ahead and depart at 11:41. So I'm going to go ahead, close her down. We never did get too much better. We got like 74 kilowatt. So there we go. We're ending up at 62 kilowatt. Maybe the battery's warmed up a little bit now, but we're going to go ahead and shut her down and get on to the next one.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And we just rolled in here to Royce City at 1:32. We're running about 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour average, 66 mile per hour average. There's 120 miles. We rolled in here with 7% and 17 miles left to go. Sheet said we would be here at 1:30, so we're a couple of minutes behind schedule. Had a couple of traffic snarls, but we're going to get out and hopefully we get some fast charging. All right, so we got her all plugged in. Now we're only going to 57% here. I shortchanged myself a little bit on the last charge. I probably should have gone a little bit more and I could have kept my speed up. but we're gonna try and stick on plan. Hopefully this thing get me some good charging speeds. I have been running the heat for the last couple miles, so hopefully that's 125 kilowatt. That's what I was looking for. Outstanding. So we'll charge her up here, 126 kilowatt. All right, so I'm gonna get in, turn on the heat, see if we can keep these speeds going up to 57%. Now, one thing about this particular strategy is, you know, we're trying to basically stick in the fast portions of the charging curve on the ID4, which basically is from 0 to about 50%. That's when your fastest charging occurs. You know, the concept here is, you know, yeah, we're going to be stopping to charge, but the speed at which we're charging is kind of the speed of the fuel stop instead. We're actually kind of shifting the dynamic. So we're moving that dynamic to the speed of the fuel stop. So the fuel stop, the longer you go at a fuel stop, you know, essentially the longer the trip's going to be, but the more fuel stops you can make that are faster, you might actually spend less time charging and therefore more time on the road, or quicker time on the road and less time total. So that's kind of what we're testing here. That's what we're going for, if that makes any sense. So we'll get back to the experiment. So we pulled into, this is Jefferson Park down here in Mount Pleasant, and you can see we didn't do so good as far as efficiency. We're running 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour. We're running into a headwind. We were running right at about 81 mile an hour, so we didn't do so hot. So it was 85 miles total. We ran in here pretty close to on the money. There's 7% and 14 miles remaining on the charge, so we're here going to about 66%. So I'm going to go back there, plug her in, and see what kind of speeds we get. This place is usually pretty good about speed, so hopefully we keep up the string of good luck. Well, I don't know if this one's going to work or not. Now it's about 31 degrees. You can see my breath there, and that is definitely not acceptable charging speeds. So I'm going to stop it and restart it, and we'll see what happens. Well, after fighting with it for probably about 10-15 minutes, she's finally charging at 127 kilowatt. Had to move stations and all that other good stuff, but she is finally doing it. All right, so now I'm going to get in here where I can stop seeing my breath, try to warm up the scotch. Into Hope, Arkansas here at 5:51. We had a little bit of a rough time charging in Mount Pleasant, so a little bit of a problem there. Added substantial amounts of time to our trip, but we've got up to this point from Mount Pleasant's been 92 miles, 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, and averaged 69 mile an hour. Rolled in here with 43 miles left on the guess-o-meter and 19%. So we did pretty good as far as juice wise. I might have gone a couple of percentage points over. I think I only went to 69% where I was supposed to go to 66. So I wasn't too far off, but I think we also started to have a little bit less of a headwind. I think the wind has kind of died down, so let's get out and find out how Hope, Arkansas treats its Electrify America people, what kind of speeds we get. Well, she scared me when she first started because she started off at like 4 kilowatt hour, or 4 kilowatt. Now she's ramping up a bit. Looks like we're settling in right at about 100 kilowatt. Maybe that'll get up a little higher. Right now it's 28 degrees where I'm at. So I'm going to turn on the heater inside the car. We'll see if we can get this to speed up just a skosh. But we'll see how far we're going and keep our rapid charging going.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
We pulled into Little Rock here, not doing too great. I fell asleep at the last charger, so we overcharged there. But pulled in here. Oh, now it just rolled back to 69 mile an hour average. 100 miles exactly, 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. We were rolling and with heat and going pretty quick and climbing and everything else. That kind of killed us on that. Rolled in here with 37%, 81 miles left on the guessometer, and we are running behind schedule since I fell asleep at that last charger and overcharged and all that good stuff. So here we are supposed to be going to 61%, so we'll see if we can get back on target with that and then press on with a great exuberance. This screen has obviously seen better days, but we see it clicking and hear it clicking and whirring, but it says the maximum speed has been reduced. That's 10, 11 kilowatt, 13. $47, $54, $60. $65 kilowatt. All right, well, seemed like all the other ones had that same message on there, so I'll just let her go, and we don't have very far to charge. So again, here we are in Little Rock, and one of my least favorite places to charge, but if I'm gonna have a bad experience, it seems to happen here. So all right, we'll see you in a little bit. We're only going to 61%, so we don't have far. Well, if you'll notice, she's showing 36 kilowatt, but she's been bouncing around all the way up to like 72 and 76. So I don't know if it's gonna stick now there at 36 kilowatt. See down in the lower left-hand corner. Now it doesn't seem to be bouncing. But it was 36, then it went to 72, then back down to like 66, and then back down to 36, and back up to 74. So, I don't know. Felt like somebody was calling bingo. But, oh well. Now she looks like she's holding steady at 36. Well, that sucks. We'll see in a little bit. Well, we rolled in at 10:17. According to the plan, we were supposed to be here about 9:14, so we're about an hour behind schedule. 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, averaging 65 mile an hour. It's 98 miles from Little Rock. And we rolled in here with 15%, 33 miles on the guessometer. So we are it's starting to warm up a little bit today. So we're gonna plug in and we're gonna see how we're gonna do here in Forest City. Usually these guys are pretty good to me. They usually give me pretty good charge rates, so we'll see what happens today. Well, here the 350 there is offline. That one is turned off. This one is unavailable, so I'm having to use the Chad mode. So if anybody drives up in a Nissan Leaf, I am really sorry. But let's see what kind of speeds we get. 95 kilowatt. Well, 95 will work. Be nice if we were getting the 120, but it's okay. 95, I'll take it. So we're going up pretty high in this location, so we got about a 2-hour run on this next jaunt, so we got a ways to go. I think we're going up to 75% on this charge, so we'll see you back in a little bit.
Happy birthday to
here into Jackson, Tennessee. 124 miles, 62 miles an hour. Average 2 hours and 3 minutes to get here. 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. Starting to come up a little bit. It's getting warmer. We're still rolling pretty heavy. Rolling here at 17%, so about 7% higher than what ABRP predicted. So I'm going to go ahead and throw her on the charger here. We got about 39 minutes. What we're supposed to be here. We may sit a little while longer just for having some extra charge to run around in Nashville with, but other than that, we'll see what kind of speeds we get now. As the last time we were here, they were actually replacing the cables on these. Well, it looks like the charging situation sucks here too. So 72 kilowatt max I'm getting out of this stupid thing. So I think I might change sides over to these maybe this 350 and see if I do any better, because that's about to piss me off. All right, so we're ramping up over on the 350. Come on, do better. I don't think it's gonna do better. Maybe it is. That's what I'm wanting to see. That'll work. 117. All right, so we're gonna let this go and then head on into Nashville. I'm trying to pull into my hotel room here, and apparently, as you can see by the traffic, there is something big going on in downtown Nashville on President's Day weekend. I have no idea what it is. I'm sure I'm gonna be, well, underwhelmed, but I've been waiting in this line for about 10 minutes just to hand it off to the valet. So this is definitely an interesting deal. So let me go ahead and I'll go through the numbers. We arrived at the hotel in Nashville. 26%. Did 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour, 60 miles per hour average, and 131 miles from Jackson. So that's where we sit. Since the start, 918 miles, 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's where we ended up. So lesson learned, if we were able to charge at peak speeds like we were expecting to, then we would have been good. We ran into a lot of problems on this trip with trying to initialize the chargers as well as some slow charging speeds. So I really think that this is the better way to do it. It seems to be a little bit less stressful, be able to get out and walk around a little bit. So I still stick by this particular method. So I hope you enjoyed watching me do the charge and hop method here for this run to Nashville. And if you liked it, subscribe. And if you're going to crash in that like button. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy.